Hi, guys.
Hey, hey.
Hi.
For the people's house of contract that you signed with Dr. Vaughn, you're gonna have to wait another 13 days.
No, I understand that. It's just I didn't take them. They flushed.
Sure.
How was your trip, Kathy?
It was so much fun. I didn't want to leave.
I saw you swimming with the porpoises or playing with the porpoises.
My little dolphins, yes.
You look so amazing in the photos.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm still hard on myself, which I shouldn't be, but I am.
You should be proud of yourself for the transformation you've already achieved so far.
Yes. I have to put like pictures side by side. So like I think the one that I sent you, so that I can actually see the differences and stuff. Like I told Sarah today, I still feel like a little bit on my arms and like a little bit under here, like how I sit and stuff, but it's gonna happen. It will go. I see a lot of changes already.
I'm sure all of us are guilty. I got the cheeks, you know? We're all guilty of picking up.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm proud. I'm very happy.
Teresa, I remember when I was on the program, I was like, I don't really see a difference, whatever. And the scale was moving, and I even still, with the scale going down, you were like, take a picture of yourself in the mirror and crop your face out. And for some reason, it worked. Like when I did that,
Yep.
I saw like a huge difference.
You got to take a photo and, hate to say it, decapitate yourself. You're disassociating yourself from your body. When you look in the mirror, you see yourself. But if you do that on a photo and wait a day or two, you can look at yourself objectively. And that really, really comes into play, especially towards the end. You know, I'm sure we had that talk again, Sarah, when you got so far down. You probably realized, it's not the body I want.
Well, Michael just said he wants to do another round, so we're probably going to start on Saturday, and I'm going to do it with him and join the boat with you guys and see like if I like how I look at 120. Lose an extra 10 pounds, see how I look.
That'll be curious.
Yeah, I'll just on days.
So it's pretty much me and you both have about 10 pounds then.
So we'll do it
because this morning I was 130. I'm trying to get down to 120.
Yeah.
So
130.
That'll be interesting.
Do it together.
So Kathy's loading this weekend too?
No, Kathy's on the program.
No.
Yeah, I'm still on the drops.
Oh, okay. You're still on phase 2. Okay, I wasn't sure.
Yeah,
so, and you went to the Keys? Oh my gosh. You get a big old pat on the back, girl.
Did awesome.
I prepped every freaking meal. I prepped everything besides my last dinner. We had it in the igloo and I put like ice and my stuff was in a bag, but I guess the bag seeped through with the melted ice and all my food got soaking wet. I was so disappointed. It was like 8 o'clock at night and we were stuck on the road because up there they had like the brush fire and then there was a car that went on fire and then there was like a shooting. So the traffic was backed up for like almost 3 hours. We didn't get home until almost 10 something. So my husband stopped by Popeyes and I had, I know I shouldn't have, I probably should like starved myself until like the next morning, but I was really feeling sick because the last thing I ate was at like, I think like 1:30ish. And that was my lunch. So I went from like 1 all the way until 10 o'clock at night. So I had like a little, he had a sandwich, but I had like, I guess it's called like 1/4 of it, but without the bread. It was just the fried chicken, but still like, I didn't really stall or anything. So that made me happy. So I still dropped, but we'll see. We'll see what tomorrow brings.
Someone was on and then off.
Yeah. And then I have iPhone on. I'm not sure who that is, but
I know I invited someone getting ready to start. She is going to be a referral and she just ordered. So I'm mailing out to her and she's going to load this weekend.
cool. So we have droppers that are starting around the same time.
That's exciting.
It's a constant process, and I'm like, oh, well, you know what? Sarah's on tonight.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll get started. Teresa, do you think I should record it or?
If you record it, it's a great way to learn from yourself.
Right.
And you know, in case, because you're not sure who's there, introduce yourself, you know, give your testimony, and then Kathy, we want to hear your results afterwards too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be great. Okay. Well, hello everybody who is on. Tonight we're going to just be going over an in-depth kind of overview of the program a little bit, some tips to maximize your weight loss so that you can lose as much as possible on phase 2. And of course, if you guys ever have any questions, this is like your little Bible. Make sure you keep it either in your kitchen or near your scale with a pen so you can always use your weight tracker inside, which is right here on the page. And then there's recipes on the inside. And most importantly, I always say this, Bible stands for basic instructions. So definitely don't add or subtract to the program. You want to keep everything that's in here. And it has all the instructions you need in here. But of course, I'm going to go over it anyways with you guys and give you a little bit more in-depth of a process of what the program is like. So if you open up your books, you'll see it says phase 1. Phase 1 is the first 2 days on the program. You're going to be taking your drops during phase 1. You're going to take it for breakfast time, lunch time, and dinner time. You basically put the drops, 10 drops under your tongue, 10 little droplets. Make sure you count it because you don't want to just splash a whole like syringe in. You want to make sure you're counting each droplet. So count 10 droplets, hold it under your tongue for 30 seconds before you swallow it. And you want to make sure that you're not going to eat or drink or chew anything 15 minutes before or after taking your drops. This is important for it to access that stored fat so that you can lose the weight as quickly as possible while following the food protocol. Now for loading, this is called loading. Think about Thanksgiving Day when you're like ready to just tear up the kitchen. And even when you don't feel hungry on loading, it's vital, super important that we get a lot of healthy fats in at least. I know some people get full easily. Just eat as much as you can all throughout the day for those 2 days. It's super important to get your metabolism ramped up so that on phase 2 you can lose the weight as quickly as possible. And loading is key for losing. So don't feel guilty. You have to load correctly if you want to have the best results on phase 2. Now, you don't want to just load on carbs and sugars. We want you to load most importantly on fats, fatty foods, greasy foods. I'll give you just a few examples. And of course, in your notes, once you guys join the program, Teresa and I can send you a great list to go through and you get some ideas on what's the best foods to load on. So here's some recommendations I would tell you guys. Bacon, cheeseburger with avocado, full fat cheddar cheese, cream cheese, fish oil pills, a nice huge greasy breakfast, Italian or Mexican, have a chocolate milkshake and fried chicken, fried steak, a nice fatty ribeye with some butter, salami, pepperoni, and maybe a cheesecake and ice cream. So yeah, you get the point a little bit. So we have a list of foods for you. You want to make sure that you load properly. So for those 2 days, it's super important. Then day 3 and onward, we're going on to phase 2, which is a minimum of at least 21 days. Now this is super important, just like Teresa had told me before. If you're doing an antibiotic, right, your doctor gave you an antibiotic because you're sick, you need to finish that antibiotic. Otherwise, your body, you'll actually get worse. You'll get sick. So you have to finish it. This is a science. This is a protocol, and you can't add or subtract or reinvent the wheel. You have to do at least 21 days and try your best, absolute best, whether it's intentional or not. you have to be careful with cheating, because if you cheat even one day on the program, it doesn't matter if it's an extra ounce of chicken, it can literally stall you for at least 3 days or more, and it's not worth it. It's not worth your time, your effort, your energy, and you're going to do this right. So at least go to day 21, get it done, have tunnel vision. It's going to fly by, and you'll have your new body soon. So this is the perfect amount of time to get your body reset, so we can reset your metabolism and calorie intake on phase 3. That way you're not quote unquote dieting anymore, and you can enjoy life and maintain your weight loss. So phase 3 is a whole nother training, but I'll do just a basic overview after. So basically for phase 2, you're going to continue taking your drops for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And depending on your coach and what they have you on, I always recommend at least these 4 supplements. I usually never really, like I've had droppers ask me, oh, can I just do the drops? I never ever just recommend drops. This is like the fabulous 4 that I always say you have to get on these 4 at least, or you're going to be miserable and you're not going to get the best benefits. And I'm being honest with you because I've tried it. So you got your drops that you're going to take for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And in the morning, Teresa taught me how to do these, and I think it's the best combination ever. And all my other droppers who have tried it say it's game changer too. So what you do is you take your charge packet. The charge is a packet that you can mix. It gives you energy without like the jitters and the crash, and it suppresses your appetite and curbs cravings, and it's like a natural fat burner. It has Garcinia cambogia in it, so it's really amazing, guys. So we take that charge packet in the morning, 15 minutes after you do your drops, and then you mix it with 1 ounce of your liquid vitamins. The liquid vitamins are actually really good, guys. So when you mix your 1 ounce of liquid vitamins with your charge packet and a large cup of cold water, I personally bought a nice cheap frother on Amazon, and it mixes it perfectly. And I just drink it down. I actually tried it with the fruit punch flavor this morning for the first time. I usually drink it with the orange, and it's both great. And when I drink the charge alone, I'm like, like it's a little bitter. It's not sweet. I don't really like it. And then on top of it, when you mix it with your Omni liquid vitamins, you literally feel so amazing for the whole day. It suppresses your appetite. You're like the Energizer bunny. You just feel like a whole new person, and I can't live without it. Even on life, I'm taking that. So definitely try that combination, guys. So you're going to do your drops in the morning. 15 minutes later, you can do your charge mixed with your liquid vitamins. And then this might be a little TMI, but what I would have you guys do, if you guys do struggle with constipation, talk to one of your coaches, because we don't want you guys to feel like poop, literally, no pun intended. You get on a good fiber pill. We have a fiber and more pill. It's not just fiber. They have other stuff in it. And then with a really good probiotic. Your digestive system is super important to take care of, especially not just dieting, but overall to feel really good. There's nothing like a healthy gut. So the last but not least product I always recommend to people to take is the nightlight supplement. This is what you're going to take right before bed. You want to make sure that you don't take it at least 3 hours after your dinner. So I always try my best not to eat anyways past 8 o'clock at night, because for one, it kind of like messes with the scale in the morning a little bit, but I want to be able to take my nightlight, and I want to get a good night's sleep. So basically you just use a tablespoon of that and mix it with a very small cup of cold water. It's delicious. Any other supplements we have is just amazing. We have extra enhancers if you get extra hungry, have sugar cravings. But yeah, we have amazing supplements for everything. Those are the main 4 I would say definitely get on. And like I said, if you have trouble pooping, definitely get on the fiber and the probiotic. So let's move along. So that was the definitely supplements that I suggest you guys take on phase 2. Now I always get the question on how long does the supplements last? Most supplements last you about a month. The drops last a little over a month. But if you need some more, make sure you just reach out if you need a re-up, and I'll ship it out priority, or your coach will ship it out to you. What else? So let's see here. And then you want to always make sure you guys are refrigerating most of your stuff and shaking the bottle up before you use it, because all the good stuff is on the bottom of the bottle. All right, so we want to make sure, guys, that we're following the protocol, like I said. And a lot of people also get confused and want to compare this to the HCG diet. And Omnitrition has its protocol that isn't exactly like the HCG diet. So we don't want to Google stuff and take advice from other diets out there and stuff. We want to stick to what Omni says to do. So we're going to follow the protocol for phase 2. We're not going to add or subtract to the program, or it's not going to work. The smallest little cheat, intentionally or not, can stall you, and it will set you back on the scale for up to 3 days or more. It's not worth it. We want you guys to stay committed, just get it done. It's based off science, not our logic. And when you do it right, it's successful. The goal is that we can get you to at least 21 to 45 days, and that way we can lock your weight in on phase 3 to maintain it. This is so that we can reset your metabolism to a higher calorie intake. And then after phase 3, you can do another round if you want to lose more weight, or speak to me about life on maintenance, or Teresa. Instead of feeling too restricted, like a lot of people feel when they're on phase 2, I want you guys to think about all the approved foods lists that you guys are allowed to have for right now. Get creative, figure out your favorite meals, look forward to it every day, stay motivated, keep in touch with us as your coach, hop on the Zoom calls, utilize the Omni Losers group. We're here for you. Have tunnel vision, and most importantly, guys, preparation is key. Whenever stuff, life always throws things our ways, guys, so always have like a backup plan if you absolutely need to. Later in phase 3 in life, you're going to have a lot more options and portions to choose from, along with indulgences without gaining weight. So just have tunnel vision. Prepare and get yourself on a very good schedule for phase 2. It's going to be worth it. And I want you guys to get ready to drop and lose weight fast. So a basic little tips and advice I would tell you guys: weigh yourself every morning after you use the bathroom. If you have to, keep a record of your weight each day using the chart provided to track your progress. This is super important so you don't lose track. Keep it by the kitchen or next to your scale so you don't forget. Take a bunch of before pictures, which is super important. If you want, maybe do a blank canvas in the back, or like a blank wall or something with not like a bunch of messiness, and just kind of do a 360 video of yourself so that you can actually see in the video too, side by side. It's literally crazy. Also, if you want, take your measurements. It's super important, because when you guys might have an occasional stall here and there, which happens, you're going to be losing inches. So we want to also be able to see our inches that we lost. And again, if you guys have any constipation at all in this program, reach out to us. It happens sometimes, and we can figure out how to help. All right, so we went over supplements. So let's go over the phase 2 approved foods and what to do. So first of all, I know the book says you can drink a half a gallon of water, but we want you guys to drink your whole gallon. You got to drink your whole gallon, guys. If you have to, chug as much as you can in the morning and afternoon so that you're not up all night peeing. Just do it. It's going to help you to lose the weight as quickly as possible. You're also allowed to have plain tea or a black coffee. You're also allowed to have 1 tablespoon of whole milk per day. Some people might find that they stall with that, but that's like the limit. If you need to have any sort of dairy, 1 teaspoon. Is it a teaspoon or a tablespoon, Teresa?
It's a tablespoon, and it doesn't float my boat. So I'm pig-headed. When I drop, I eliminated it.
Yeah.
And a good trick for coffee, if you're a coffee drinker, and to me it was the texture I missed with cream. I found if I added cinnamon, cinnamon powder and the caramel stevia, and I used the frother in it. But I had to drink it with a lid. All right. Cinnamon doesn't dissolve, but it was a good, amazing taste. And I didn't have to visually see black coffee. So that's actually how I started drinking black coffee after all those years. So
very interesting you say that, because black coffee to me was always disgusting, but when I did Omni, it's an acquired taste you get used to. And I actually bought an easy filter kind of like little jug on Amazon that you just fill up the center with ground coffee, and then you fill it up with water and put it in the fridge and let it seep overnight, and you have cold brew coffee. So I even love cold brew black coffee now. And most importantly, guys, another supplement that Omni has that is incredible is called Java. And Java is like coffee, and it's actually really delicious on its own. But if you even want to, like Teresa said, there's sweet leaf drops. They have every flavor you can think of. You can do caramel, and it's delicious. I love the Java, and I have so much energy when I drink that stuff. So that's another thing you can do. I know a lot of people in the Omni Losers group use La Croix. I think that's how you say it. It's like sparkling water.
soda.
Yeah.
One of the things we want to teach you, and Lauren Nance and Suzanne and I are all on the same boat. This is about breaking old bad habits. So when you're on phase 2, we don't want you substituting one thing for a bad habit. Soda or pop, if you're in the north, is a bad habit. So LaCroix and Zevia, yes, they're approved. Use them as a treat, not as a beverage. Meaning, you want one, have it in the evening. So yeah, LaCroix is good, and so Zevia is crazy. I mean, it's just a soda. It comes in Coke, and you aren't learning anything with that.
Very good to know. So yeah, guys, let's avoid most drinks. No juices, no diet drinks, flavored water. Be careful. If you can use half of a fresh squeezed lime or lemon per day. No packaged bottles of lemon. Be careful with that, because those have oil. I've had droppers use that bottle that squeezes the lemon or lime. You don't want that. You want the fresh sliced squeezed lemon or lime, because they have oils and other ingredients that aren't approved in it. Now for seasonings, you're allowed to have any plain herbs and spices. Something Teresa told me the other day was a brand called Flavor God, and they do have incredible flavors and ingredients, but just also be wary. Always check the ingredients on the back for any added sugars, oils, anti-caking agents. You'd really be surprised. In most spices, they add it in. So you're allowed to have basic plain herbs and spices, just always, I don't care, like always check the back, check the ingredients to see what it says. We don't want you to stall unintentionally. So salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, basil, oregano, parsley, or any other plain herb and spice is good. So yeah, check the ingredients, guys. Make sure there's no fillers, anti-caking agents, natural flavorings, sugar, oil, etc. Something else, guys, on phase 2, absolutely no oils and butter is allowed. Even Pam spray, don't even try it. Be careful, because sometimes when I used to cook on phase 2, I didn't realize it, there was leftover oil from like when I cooked another meal for my husband at the time or for somebody else. So be wary of using the same type of pans and stuff that you cook usually with oil and butter on it. You want to make sure it's clean, and also even touching oils and butters and stuff, guys, because that can even stall you. Stevia packets, let's talk about that. So I bought stevia in the raw packets, and I was wondering why my husband was stalling, and I'm pretty sure it was because of this unintentionally. And stevia in the raw has maltodextrin in it, and that's another term for sugar. So be very careful. I would probably just do and stick to the sweet leaf drops and just plain stevia. You have to check the ingredients, guys. So yeah, there's tons of additives. It's insane.
You know, there was that post you did, Sarah.
Yeah.
And it was like, Lauren Nance and them reached out to me, and they're like, but it's approved. And I'm like, but it's dextrose. You know, why is it approved? We always said no dextrose. And dextrose, isn't that modified engineered corn or something it comes from? There is just no safe granular type thing other than xylitol, which has always been approved in all the science. As far as the rest, Truvia, all that other stuff, none of it is. Sweet Leaf, I have not read their powder. Have you? The Sweet Leaf has made a powder. I didn't look it up only because I prefer the flavors in my coffee. And if I just want sugar taste, I use xylitol.
Okay. Yeah, xylitol is very good, guys. It doesn't have that bitter aftertaste, and a little bit goes a long way. Of course, even with buying xylitol, look at the ingredients on that too and make sure that they don't mix it with something. And a little bit goes a long way. If you actually do too much, you might have some diarrhea. So be careful with that. My next suggestion, something that my husband absolutely needed and wanted on the program after he ate all his foods for the day, you're allowed to have purr. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's spelled P-U-R. Purr or spry gum, any flavor's okay. And those two brands are allowed. But again, be careful chewing too much because then you might stall and you might have some diarrhea. But my husband absolutely looked forward to his chocolate mint spry or pure gum. It's really good. It reminded him of the chocolate from Olive Garden. What else, guys? So Teresa, you said that you had a dropper that was stalling from the Bragg's liquid aminos.
Yes, and it's more predominant in people, mature women, or men, or people with, let's say, fluid retention problems. The Bragg's aminos is so high in sodium. Yes, it's allowed, but it is super duper salty. And if you prep your meals in a crock pot and you're putting a lot of that in it and you're having it every day for lunch, you could be in a bad stall. So that is something when I talk to my clients, say, you know what, set that aside, put it in your freezer for the next 3 days and let's try something else. And sure enough, anyone that cooks, I don't recommend prepping with Bragg's, but more or less use it at your meal if needed for that taste.
So, see what works for your body, guys. I also noticed myself when I did the program, I was allowed to do Frank's original hot sauce, but if I had too much of that, I would stall because it has that high sodium. So just be careful with the sodium, guys. It will retain water for you and can stall you, and you don't want to stall. So you're also allowed to have Bragg's apple cider vinegar. So my favorite way of having that, because it is so potent and a lot of people actually hate it, is I take the cap on it and just fill it up, and I kind of just use that cap to like sprinkle it on a salad with lettuce, onion, tomato, and cucumber, and I sprinkle some parsley on top of it. Something about parsley, like, it tastes good on everything, guys, so definitely utilize that spice. I had never used it until I did Omni. I'm telling you, it like tastes like a Middle Eastern salad. It's really good. And when you use it like that, it tastes good. Or you can even dilute it and maybe get a spray bottle and just spray it. So yeah, just be careful with that because it is super potent and some people hate the taste. Or it might, like Kathy the other day, she tried it and it's just too much for you, right? You felt nauseous.
What was that off the break?
Yeah, my stomach would always get upset every time I had the apple cider vinegar.
Well, okay, I do want you to do some research on Bragg's apple cider vinegar. It is so healthy, so healthy.
No, yeah.
I never ever recommend drinking it straight. So people who think doing apple cider shots are healthy, no. I caught one of my girls, she thought it was something else. She was doing shot glass of apple cider vinegar. She got sores, burns all over her lips.
Oh my goodness.
I wanted to say it was something else. It was that. It's very acidic. It's not good for tooth enamel. So, but drizzling it over your vegetables, using it in cooking, adding it with a little sweetener makes it, cuts that acid sauce, but it's so good for digestive health. It does facilitate weight loss. So it is really important. It's good to incorporate. You could even, some people make almost like a hot apple cider using it. You could add a little bit in water, warm it, add cinnamon and sweetener. Then again, like I said, brush your teeth. Apple cider vinegar is very acidic, but it is good. On an empty belly, yeah.
No, it wasn't on an empty belly. I would do it with like my salads and stuff. And I think because like I would do, I just do like pepper, garlic, onion, like mix it up as a dressing itself with a little bit of water. And that still like just made me like feel very nauseous. I don't know if it's because I'm doing too much apple cider vinegar and not so much of the water, or I gotta like probably tweak it around or something. Or like maybe Sarah said, use a little spray bottle and do it that way.
I like that idea. So how far are you down now, Kathy?
30 pounds. Oh, I'm sorry, not 30 pounds. Just kidding. 26.8.
You're closing in on that 30?
Yes, I'm getting close. Very, very close.
There's only like 8 minutes left, so I'm just gonna finish up this and then we can talk. So a lot of you guys know for grains, you're allowed to have 2 crackers a day, not to be eaten at the same time. A lot of people prefer the Wasa cracker over the Melba toast, and you have to be careful because the Melba toast, you can only do like the original one, not the little circular ones, right, Teresa?
Correct. No Melba rounds.
Hello?
Yep. Did you hear me? Yeah, no Melba rounds. It's the plain Melba toast. And the same with the Wasa. There is no gluten-free varieties. If you're sensitive to gluten, leave them out.
Yeah, the favorite Wasa crackers I can recommend to you guys is the multi-grain, whole grain, and sourdough. Anything else I'm kind of wary about. And I say the multi-grain is the best for making apple oatmeal, for putting a little water on it and then heating it up in the microwave, and I slice strawberries up on it with some cinnamon. Tastes like a pastry. So you can get so creative. I mash it up and use it as breadcrumbs in the air fryer on my foods. So get creative, guys. So you're allowed to have 2 grains a day, and I would recommend you guys get the Wasa crackers. Now, I know not everybody has a Publix where they live. Some Walmarts I've seen carry it, and then if not, I guess just order it online like Amazon or something, but I would highly suggest you get the Wasa crackers. They're bigger and they make you fuller. The Melba toast is just really tiny. All right, so let's talk about meats, guys. Any of the following meats for lunch and dinner must be weighed out raw, exactly 4 ounces. Don't eyeball it. You need to weigh it out on a digital food scale, and it has to be exactly 4 ounces. You cannot combine different proteins in one meal. After weighing raw, you may bake, steam, grill. Try to remove as much fat as possible. And my tips to you guys is try not to eat the same protein twice in a day. Switching up your food will help your body to lose weight quicker. And if you're going to eat beef, do your beef for lunch instead of dinner time to keep you fuller throughout the day. And chicken and fish are lighter options. So some people may limit eating too much ground beef because it could occasionally stall you and might be sensitive to you if you eat it too much. Also, you want to make sure you're eating 97% lean ground beef. It's very hard to find that sometimes. So what I would do is use my grill and then pat it dry and try to get as much oil off it as possible. You're allowed to have sirloin, filet mignon, veal, buffalo, elk, venison, or flank steak. You can have chicken, but it has to be skinless breast only, no other parts of the chicken allowed. And for fish, you can do flounder, sole, cod, tilapia, halibut, mahi-mahi, Chilean sea bass, lobster, shrimp, and only fresh crab, not the imitation allowed. For phase 2 vegetables, you can do 4 ounces of any of the following vegetables for lunch and dinner. It has to be weighed raw, and it has to be exactly 4 ounces. You may combine the vegetables as long as your serving does not exceed 4 ounces. And after weighing raw, you can bake it, steam it, grill it. You can do spinach, chard, beet greens, lettuce, tomatoes, celery, fennel, onion, red radishes, cucumbers, asparagus, and cabbage. Again, if you guys want to review your food list, it's in this booklet. So always, if you need to, take a picture of it so when you go to the store, you don't forget. Definitely everything is in here. Do not add and do not subtract to this book. All right, let's talk about fruits. Now, you may have 2 servings of fruits a day. It can't be eaten at the same time. Fruits can be split up and eat with your lunch or dinner if you want to throughout the day. You're allowed to have a medium-sized apple, a half a grapefruit, 6 to 9 strawberries, depending on the size, and a medium-sized orange. Also change your fruits up, guys. If you eat the same things all the time, it can stall you. I remember when I was eating 2 apples and making apple oatmeal. It was delicious and I looked forward to it every day, but it was a little too much for me. My body was stalling. And then once I swapped out one of the apples for strawberries, then I started losing weight quicker. So just definitely change up your fruits as much as possible as well. Many droppers also notice that when they eat less oranges, they lost weight quicker because it's naturally highest in sugar from the list. It's definitely allowed on the program, but you just have to be careful with it. I would try your best not to eat too much oranges, or at least switch it up as much as possible. Watch the scale how you do. Let's talk about do's and don'ts, guys, while on the Omni Drops program. We highly suggest that you do not work out while taking the Omni Drops. It's not necessary, and it will put you in starvation mode. You can go on a 30-minute walk if you want, just to increase your overall health, light stretching, all that. Just do not physically overexert your body. The goal is so that once you do reach your desired weight, we want to be able to lock it in to maintain it for at least a month before you start working out again. That way you don't have to rely on working out to maintain your weight loss in life. No working out on this program. It's just not recommended. We don't want you to be physically exerted. Do not take any other brands or supplements or unnecessary over-the-counter medications unless absolutely necessary. Of course, you want to consult with your physician before abstaining from any prescriptions. Do take your doctor prescribed medications if needed, like insulin, blood pressure medication, heart medication, etc. Do not skip meals, guys. Do not skip your fruits. Do not skip your meals. It's important to get it all in, even if you feel full. Learn how to fit it in. If you have to, split it up, get it all in the morning, eat it with your lunch and dinner. But seriously, guys, do not skip meals. It's not good for you. You're not going to lose weight quicker because you're skipping a meal. Remember, this is a science. We didn't put this program together. It is a science, and we don't want to reinvent the wheel. Do not add, eat, drink, chew, swallow if it's not on the phase 2 approved food list. If you want this to work correctly, we got to do it correctly. Do not consume oils, butters, sugars, carbs, starches of any kind. So check all the ingredients for everything that you guys are eating. Check the ingredients. You'll be shocked. Do not use lotions, beauty products with food oils in them. I had a massage therapist who's starting, and she uses coconut oil to massage. And my suggestion is use mineral oil or anything that doesn't have food oils in it. Some other important information, guys, from time to time, we may experience stalls and fluctuations. Now, a real stall is when you don't have any movement on the scale. Fluctuations, it might do the cha-cha dance and go up and down a little bit, here, point there. Double check to make sure you're not intentionally or unintentionally doing something off of phase 2 protocol. You'd be surprised. Otherwise, stalls happen from time to time, and that actually means you're losing inches if you're doing it correctly. Of course, please reach out to us. You're not bothering your coaches. Contact us to help you to get through the stall and fluctuation to help you avoid it. Some stalls just happen from time to time if you are sticking to protocol, and this just means you're losing inches, which is great. Keep sticking to the program and the scale will catch up. Stalls that last for more than a few days, you definitely want to contact us. And women, we tend to fluctuate anyways when we have our menstrual cycle. So be wary of that. Now we're talking about ending of phase 2, which is